So thank you so much, Mr. Thompson, for speaking to me today. We've lost an icon, a musical icon, today, and I would like to talk to you about how Mary. Well, how did you work with Mary, Miss Wilson, and how do you feel things have changed, and what has the music industry really lost today? Because we have to talk about that.
Well, we lost a giant. We lost a giant icon, number one. And I've been knowing her for many, many years. And I worked with her in the later years. Of course, we did that big tour in England together. We did 30 days sold out tour over there. And that was a gas, and we rode the bus together. A whole 30 days, we was on a tour bus together, just sitting there talking and discussing. She always was concerned about the major artists, and we talked about it. We talked about the situations that she got today, that she put everybody in position. It's a very hard thing that the way it went down, that the pandemic came in. And when it came in, she was right on time because she made sure everybody was covered royalty wise and sound exchange wise, where they get a check every month, see, for their music. She did that. She did that for all the artists. She fought it in Congress up there in Washington, D.C., and they passed it. And everybody say, hooray.
Yes, because there was, I mean, and I see this. Me and my dad, God rest his soul, used to talk about that all the time because, big companies would come in and buy, take the royalties from the artists, and the artists would never see a dime. Their families would be fighting after the artists had passed away, and that's not fair. So I'm
Right.
glad, she went to bat for everyone and she fought that good fight and, opened the doors for people to be compensated for their great works because that's y'all's gifts. That's y'all's legacy. Y'all should definitely be compensated for that, for bringing the gifts that you have brought to us. So,
well, it was just right on time because if she had done that, everybody would have kind of been in trouble right now.
because nobody can tour, and my dad was like, the thing is, when on the road was where how you all fed your families.
Right.
College
That's right.
tuitions got paid, mortgages got paid, legacy, generational wealth was broken when y'all were on the road. So this
Absolutely.
is, so
Well, we were so happy that she won that situation in Congress up there and went in there and batched for us because after she did that, everything changed. Now everybody, all the major artists that recorded the product like I did, I recorded every song with the Shy-Lights. All of our songs, we sung our own music, and Eugene Ruckett produced the music. And we produced the background with Eugene. We worked hard together. This is 62 years for me with the Shy-Lights, you see. And we worked hard to get to this point. And we're very happy and pleased. It was just a shocking when I heard about it today, It was a shocking because we just talked about it out there in Hollywood together. We was in Hollywood together 2 years ago.
and it seems like, death is inevitable, but it's shocking when we didn't get to prepare for the loss of someone that has done so much or had such a great career. So that's the thing. That's where I think the shock is coming in with everyone. We had lost Cicely Tyson. Like that wasn't expected, So
Yeah.
these are the things that, I mean, this is why we have to give, our generational leaders are the ones who broke the ground for us to do music and to be where we are. We have to give y'all flowers now because this.
Yeah. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. I'm still here and I'm very pleased and thankful for the Lord. I pray every day and every night about it because I am the last man standing of the original Shy-Lights, And like I say, that's been 62 years now. So we went through a whole lot of things.
Y'all seen it all.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. From the beginning to the end.
And that's the beautiful part of this is where I wish people would sit down and kind of, talk about the oral history that we have. Like we don't need books and Google. We have you here. Let's talk to you now. Let's get all the information that we have because we don't have to keep fighting the same fight.
I tell all of them, you know, it wasn't easy. You know, I got my start, of course. You know who started me off? Gladys Knight and the Pips. They started me off playing drums with them. Okay, that was my first gig. Then Major Lance, I went with Major Lance. He got my gig. I played with him for 3 years. And after that, came back. Then I got my big break with Brunswick Records.
And that's the beautiful part. I'm like so, just so like, I mean, I'm smiling because I have your album. And like, I wish my dad was here, like, cause he would be so like just so happy. He's like, you know, cause he probably try to sing with you. I'm like, Daddy, don't do that. Like,
Yeah, most everybody, even if the ones that don't know the words to the song, they know how to hum it.
yes,
You
and that is something that we will do. We will hum if we don't know the
know,
words.
they got that melody line.
Yes.
They know what to do with that melody line, you know.
I've given up some of the greatest, one of the greatest love songs, and one of the like. It's like, come on now, like, you know, I'm kind of on a fence because of like I'm reaching out because someone passed away, but I'm also like I'm in awe because I'm fangirling because it's like I grew up on your music and I grew up in knowing about how the how do I put this? How real music is made and how the difference between vinyl and the difference between CD. And I love, like, it's like, y'all, it's a different sound on vinyl. Like, the sound is amazing. So,
Well, that everything is electronic now, you know, and you have some great studios that make that sound come up. You know, back in our day, we had Bruce Ferdine. Bruce Ferdine did the Thriller album for Michael Jackson.
yes.
And he took our sound from Chicago at Brunswick up there with our sound of our voices, Eugene, Squirrel, Red, and myself. He took those voices and took it to California with Mike and put that in there in the studio with Mike, because, you know, Mike and them grew up under us. We played Michael Jackson them all over the place, you know, before they got their break. Okay. But Bruce Ferdine was one of the greatest engineers in the world. He knew what to do with them voices.
And you, oh my gosh, see, that, most people don't know that. Most people don't know that you gave that you brought them.
Well, what happened is when I was playing Michael and them, you know, Joe Jackson was my partner, okay, back in the day, back in the 60s. So what happened is when the Jackson 5 was on the talent show at the Regal Theater, they won the talent show. We put them in. So they ended up being on the main show with me, with Bobby Taylor and the Vancougers. Bobby Taylor was with Motown with Barry Gordy and them. So what happened is I was upstairs trying to talk to Bobby, trying to get the satellites to Motown. And Michael Jackson was downstairs tearing the stage up, and the girls was hollering and screaming. So Bobby Taylor asked me, he said, "Marsha, who is that making that noise?" I said, that's some little kids I take around Chicago and play them, Joe, get me. We go in the little station wagon, take them around, put them in the little clubs, run them in there. They couldn't stay in the clubs because they weren't old enough. But
Right.
we taking them there and do one song. The police let them sing one song. Did one song, they throw them nickels and dimes up on the floor for them, and they grab that money, and we get on out of there and run down the alley. And then after I took Bobby Taylor downstairs of the Vancougers, I introduced him to Joe Jackson, right? And then the next day, I woke up, Joe and them gave me a call. I said, what's going on? What y'all doing? He said, "Man, we on our way to Detroit." You on your way to Detroit for what? Well, Bobby Taylor taking us up here to sign with Motown. And they got up there and got that job. Man, I was so happy for him. And then when I got home, you know, I mean, when I went downtown on the bus, I seen Major Lance, the guy I played drums for. He had this record out, Monkey Time, right? Mm-hmm. I had seen him and Otis Lavelle, and they took us up to Brunswick Records on the local part in Chicago for our audition. So I ended up getting all the fellas off their jobs. They were doing jobs in Chicago. And we auditioned up there, and then here comes Jackie Wilson up the steps. I said, "Who is that?" "Jackie Wilson." Wow, man, Jackie Wilson. And Jackie Wilson came in, and he said, and I introduced myself to him, all the guys. And then he said, "What you all doing?" I said, "We're getting ready to audition for Mr. Carl Davis, for Nat Turner was the president down there." Okay, so we went in there and sung. So Jackie Wilson said, "Man, you better sign them boys." so we got our break, and the Jackson Five got their break at Motown and went on and did their thing.
And see, this is where, like, I mean, this is where our history is. Like, this is our history. This is where, like, oh my gosh, like I'm like, because it's like when people don't understand who Jackie Wilson is, or like if y'all don't understand like the foundation of how we do our music, where we get our melodies, our riffs, all that stuff, it comes from you all, and that is, listen.
I know it seems fantastic. I mean, if people know what we went through to get where we are. Wow. You know, it's not easy. You have to do your thing. You have to believe in what you're doing, put it in your heart, and work hard at it. And sooner or later, it's going to bust for you.
And I tell people, because everybody's like, well, I just can post something on the internet. First of all, if y'all had to go and do what you all had to do, a lot of people would not be doing music right now.
You better believe it. You better believe that one. You got that one right. You know, we was traveling with Jackie Wilson for a whole year with singing the B-side. We didn't even know our hit record. Our hit record was Have You Seen on the other side. We got the Kiel Auditorium on tour with Jackie Wilson. We opened up the show for Jackie. We went out there and did our time. Come off the stage, the people went, wow. Oh, have you seen her? Have you seen her? We said, what? Have you seen her? That's a B-side. There ain't no hit record. They said, have you seen her? So I asked Bonnie Hayes and Jim Gates. I said, Jim, what they hollering about have you seen out there for? He said, you better go out there and sing it. You better say do 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 do.
Yes, that is my shit. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, because that is my song.
They gonna tear this place up if you don't go out there and sing it. So we went out there and sung the B-side. Have you seen her? Do do? Because our band didn't know it at all. We hadn't even rehearsed it with them because it was the B-side record. And we ended up out there singing do 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 for 15 minutes, and the people went crazy.
Of course, they went crazy because that song, even though it's on the B-side, listen.
We thought it was a B-side. It was in up the A-side.
That's a hit. And oh girl, oh my gosh. Okay, listen. Those are love songs, people. Okay, that's y'all.
Well, we got that break. We got that break to do the Flip Wilson show. When we did Flip Wilson show, we did Have You Seen Her? And Carl Davis told us to take Old Girl with us. Him and Nat Turnipole, the boss, the big boss. He told us to take that old girl with you. And I told Old Girl, there ain't no hit either.
See, now, you listen.
And we ended up getting up doing it on Flip Wilson's show. Came back. Next thing we know, we were number one on the chart with both of them.
And see, because, I mean, it's classic good music. And that's the biggest thing. Like, I really want people to understand, like, y'all, I'm talking to a legend here, y'all. Y'all gotta understand. So, like, I cannot, like, I'm in the midst of this. I'm like, it's like, it boggles my mind, like, on how, you know, songs that you listen to and you smile. Like, I smile so hard when I listen to those songs, and it's like, because it's beautiful music, and you gotta listen to the lyrics. The lyrics say something. The melodies, the music. Okay, listen. I can't thank you enough for y'all for writing and performing those songs, because you know we don't get those in this generation. We have not had that, and you know.
Well, back then, you know, we had real music. You had to play the music. You know,
yes.
I was a drummer. I ended up playing on Beyonce's "Crazy in Love," which it was our song called "Are You My Woman." I played our congos on there. And she ended up taking the song and re-sampling it. And she came out. Next thing I know, she got 6 Grammys off of it. We only sold about 2,000 at that time. And she come with 6 Grammys and call us and say, hey, I got a Grammy for y'all.
I mean, they see, that is, okay, listen, y'all, okay. Because I can't stop smiling, because it's like you have, your music is embedded in everything that we listen to. And I can't even thank you. I'm thanking you for me and my dad, because he's the one who's had me on Saturday mornings listening. Yeah. I couldn't touch the records because he would put it on.
That was his favorite. You know, that was his favorite. That's his music. You know, people lived their life off that music back in the day. You know, they kept their loved ones together. A lot of loved ones stayed together when we had our music out there. You know.
I think, I can't even thank you enough. And listen, I mean, if nobody's, for me, like, I love you and I thank you because
Thank you so
your
much.
music has kept, us going as a well, for my generation and for me connected with my dad and, having us have another level of our bond. And it's through that music. And I listen, I know we,
See, let me tell you something. Here, Beyonce did "Crazy in Love," which that was a Shy-like song. That's how long I love you. Then her husband came along and got a #1 record off of one of our songs. That's how long I love you, which he called it December 4th, with
mhm.
his mother speaking. And so, I mean, it just went on and on. Then you had MC Hammer. It just went on and on. So that music has been touching a lot of the young people, to do our part because we're singing real music, we're singing real lyrics, we're singing. You can make a movie out of one of our songs, actually,
Yeah,
and
because it
because
tells a story.
wait, but but back then you had to sing though. We came up with the singers. We came up with the Dells, Flamingos, the Spaniels, the El Dorado,
See,
and groups like the Moonglows, Harvey Kukoc and the Moonglows. You know, we came up with some heavy guys. So when got to Brunswick Records, we was ready.
y'all did it. I will say this. I'm a leave this for anyone who wants to do music. Learn to play the instruments that you want to be on your songs.
Absolutely.
Write songs that tell stories that will keep someone engaged and keep someone interested. Because some of the stuff that come along, I was talking to my children the other day. I was like, I don't even know what is this? This is not what. Not knocking it. It's just not my cup of tea.
Well, a lot of the youngsters we find for the young people, they kind of get a little mad when they do music and the radio stations might not play their song. But I tell you what, if they come up with a real hit, I'm not talking about something that your cousin just like or your auntie just like. We talking about a real hit. They'll be calling you to come down there to play the record.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Oh,
Everybody wants something good. Everybody, all stations. But right now, everybody that record a record, they think it's a hit. Everybody,
because
but
it's
it's
in a song.
well, you know, it's not a hit all the time. But if you cut a good record, trust me, they're gonna find a way to get that record played for you.
I, that's true because you know what? The radio is always gonna live. I tell people the whole time, radio is something that's gonna be here. Because what else you got? I mean, but how else will you? How can you else can you get to the masses without having an internet connection? You could plug in a radio and there it is.
Absolutely. But I tell you what, the internet really, I'm glad I learned it, the internet, years ago, because if not, wow, I don't know what's happening now because, there's so much streaming and everything going on now. It's a lot of ways you can get your music out there these days.
Right. I mean, and this is that's why people think it's so easy. I'm like, see, if y'all, I'm telling, like I keep saying, if y'all had to go back then, we would have 3 artists right now because ain't nobody. Because you got to put the work in.
You,
Yes.
yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely. And
But
me
Mr.
and Paul Turnipole, his Nat Turnipole's son, which is a very good close friend of mine, he really stays on top of it. For him to be a young person, I seen him when he was a young boy around the house, walking around the house. And to see him to do what he's doing now and have feelings for all the beautiful people out there and making sure everybody's doing it the right way. I mean, that's a pleasure, and that's an honor for him. And the people wants to work with him because he's one of the best out there. He learned from his father, of course, okay, and he learned from all of us coming up with all our music, and that's all he had to listen to. So he knew it. He knew what the sound's supposed to be like.
And that's the beautiful part. Y'all have actually listen. See, if I could own yes, because it's one of those things like because music has a way of changing. It could change your mood in so many different ways. So I
Well,
can't even.
well, Gail got that agency, that publicity agency. I mean, publicist. She's done a great job. I mean, and she got a good ear and she got a good eye for moving forward in this music.
Yes.
And we love her to death. You know,
I love her
we
too.
wouldn't take nobody else when it comes to publicity publicists but her, because she knows exactly what to do.
She does, and I look up to her too because I've met her, and I'm as a publicist as well. I want to learn. Like I feel like this is where people are forgetting. Like those who paved the way for us to be able to do the things that we do, we have to give thanks to them, and that's why. Like I'm always I admire her so much. So you already I'm there with you with Gail. Like I listen.
Well, you got to understand, everything comes in the package. You know,
Yep.
Mary Wilson, bless her heart, she really did a great job on everybody. She looked out for all the artists. You know what I'm saying? And then helped us get to where we're going now. I never dreamed when I did Jackie Wilson's spoke at Jackie Wilson's Hollywood Walk of Fame when he put the star down. I spoke there, me and Smokey Robinson and Barry Gordy. I never dreamed that we'd be going back this year to get ours.
I'm excited about that. Like that is I can't wait. Okay. I am thoroughly thankful and I'm so in awe because it's like you are a living legend and you are like I'm okay. Hold on. Let me get it together. But
Right on. It's a pleasure.
I'm a it's a pleasure. I'm gonna go ahead and get it written up, and so that people can watch this today and understand. And they need to go ahead and go to your website and find out more. Y'all need to listen. Like, just take a moment. You ain't even gotta just play the songs, even if you don't know where it's at. I'm gonna send you the link to it. Go and listen and take a moment. Close your eyes and listen to the songs, and you will see why. This music will always, always, always be in order and
well,
where it needs to
go. I can't wait to get my link so I can put it on my page. I got a lot of listeners, a lot of viewers to see that link when you give it to me.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much, sir. You have a great evening.
Thank you so much, and God bless. And tell all the beautiful people out there, Shylights 2021.
Yes.
Look out. Well, we got a song called, we did a remake for Love on a Two-Way Street. We did a remake called it Shylights and Friends. That's another great one they might like.
That is a good song too. Okay, listen, y'all, okay. Y'all get my playlist. And thank you so much, sir. You have a great evening.
It's my pleasure.
Okay.